I'd like to welcome everyone to the Tuesday, July 8th, 2024 organizational and regular meeting of the Plainville Board of Education. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first order of business is to swear in the new Board of Education trustees. Alphabetically. Mr. Garcia, please stand. And repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Joseph Garcia,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of Board of Education trustee
the duties of Board of Education trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Fine. And you, Mr. Morrissey, please stand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Michael Morrissey,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of Board of Education trustee
the duties of Board of Education trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Well, so wait a minute. Thank you. This is the best.
I could take a picture of me too, and pictures of, like
Okay.
pictures of everybody else.
Okay, repeat after me.
Okay.
I state your name.
I, Douglas Pascarella,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
I will support
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of Board of Education trustee
the duties of Board of Education trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Thank you.
Okay,
No,
No, no, no, no, no,
Michael
no.
Morrissey,
Okay.
you also. on your
Okay,
note.
I was going like that.
Don't worry very well.
Don't
It's
worry.
okay.
This is good.
Thank
You're
you.
good, yeah.
Okay. I will now open the floor for nominations for the Vice President of the Plainville Board of Education. Have a nominee?
I'd like to nominate Michael Morrissey for Vice President.
Okay. Ms. Morrissey, do you accept?
Yep.
Okay. Any other nominations? Okay, nominations for the office of Vice President are now closed. Everyone in favor? Okay, thank you. Have to do this over again. Okay, also vote, just stand up. I state your name,
I, Michael Morrissey,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of Vice President of the Board of Education
the duties of Vice President of the Board of Education
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Get the presentation. Nice on there. Thank you. Okay. The floor is now open to accept nominations for the office of President of the Board of Education.
I'd like to
Mrs. Harris.
nominate Jennifer Maggio.
Okay, Mrs. Maggio, do you accept?
I do.
Okay, any other nominations?
I can nominate Joseph A. Rudy.
Okay, Mr. Bayroudi, do you accept?
Yes.
Okay,
At this time,
any other nominations?
sorry,
That's okay. Okay, at this time, the floor is now closed for nominations.
Yeah, people may, which we've done before, is that if, people would like to explain their candidacy for their fellow board trustees, they'll be able to explain how they're equipped for this position and why they think they're the best candidate for the position. So at this point in time, we open it up for discussion.
Mrs. Maggio,
Sure.
okay, you were nominated first, so. you go first.
Fabulous. Well, I have been on the school board since 2018, so going on 7 years. And I do believe as an educator, as a person who has a relationship with school law, as I took classes, I have my administrative degree. I have a background in reading, so I do have a background in all facets of education. And I also believe that I represent this community well by knowing many of the players, whether it's through sports or through teachers or the public. I think I can do a fantastic job in that role. I do understand the code of conduct quite well. I know ed law, as I had to study that quite a bit in my courses. And that's why I feel I could help and move our district forward in the trajectory it's been going.
Thank you. Mr. Bayroudi.
So what I would say is obviously I'm a newer addition to the Board of Ed. And I think with that brings itself a fresh perspective on how to look at some of the challenges that I think we will be facing, especially when it comes to the finances of the state of New York and how it will impact Plainedge schools and obviously the type of education we can provide to our students. My main concern and focus has always been on the children, and although I might not be an expert in education law, I believe that we have the experts in-house and as consultants to help guide us through that part. I think the main goal of a leader is to take inventory of all sides of a perspective and hopefully help guide the board towards finding the most optimal solution that works for this community. So with that being said, I've had previous positions of leadership in my professional life as well as a coach. And I think that those qualities lend themselves well to being the next board president.
Thank you. Okay, Mrs. Maggio, you were nominated first, so all in favor of Mrs. Maggio as president of the Board of Education, raise your hands. Okay, all in favor of Mr. Bayroudi, raise your hands. Okay, Mr. Bayroudi, you're the president. And thank you, Mrs. Maggio.
My pleasure.
Thank you, everyone.
I have to take you with the president. Okay, I state your name,
I, Joseph Bayroudi,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will
the
support
Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of President of the Board of Education
the duties of President of Board of Education
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Thank you. You'll sign here. If you want, you can go. Dr. Hughes, can you take it to yours?
Yeah, I like the seat.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Next up, Dr. Selena. I, Edward A. Selena Jr.,
I, Edward A. Selena Jr.,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of Superintendent of Schools
the duty of superintendent of schools
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, appointment of officer. Do I have a motion to accept items number 1 through 4 under appointment of officer? Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, all in favor, thank you. Okay, Mrs. McCarthy, as district treasurer. I state your name,
I, Teresa McCarthy,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of district treasurer
the duties of District Treasurer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my
Thank you. Signing it. Dr. Levin. I state your name.
I, Guy Logan,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
faithfully discharge
the duties of Assistant District Treasurer
the duties of Assistant District Treasurer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Sign the name. Mrs. McCarthy. I state your name.
I, Teresa McCarthy,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of Assistant District Clerk
the duties of Assistant District Clerk
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of
Thank you. And Mrs. McCarthy will now reciprocate.
I state your name,
I, Maureen Ryan,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of District Clerk.
the duties of District Clerk according to the best of my ability.
Sorry.
I have to tell you, it's on a
Would you
little
like
line
a
all by
picture?
itself.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, I don't. But thank you anyway. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Maureen.
I think you like the answer.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, next are other appointments. Can I have a motion to accept items 1 through 35 under other appointments?
So moved.
Mr. Pascarella, do I have a second? Harris? All in favor? Aye, 7 in favor, motion carried. Designations, can I have a motion to accept items 1 and 2 under designations?
So moved.
Mr. Garcia?
Second.
Second, Mrs. Pascarella, all in favor? Okay, 7 in favor, motion carried. Authorizations, can I have a motion to accept items 1 through 16 under authorizations? Mr. Morrissey, do I have a second? Mrs. Spagnolo, all in favor? 7 in favor, motion carried. Other items, can I have a motion to accept items 1 through 15 under items? Mr. Paris, do I have a second? Mr. Bayroody? All in favor? 7 in favor, motion carried. Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn the organizational meeting? Mr. Morrissey.
Second.
Second, Mr. Pascarella. All right, all in favor? 7 in favor, motion carried.
Okay, at this point in time, I'll remind board members that the code of conduct, which is an annual requirement of Board of Education members in front of you, please sign and return to the district clerk before you leave this evening. In addition to that, Mr. Bayroody, as the president, you will open up the next meeting. We just adjourned the organizational meeting, and you will be able to, at that point, run the meeting.
Like order the Board of Ed meeting for July 8th, 2024. Are there any superintendent comments?
Yes, actually, we had a fantastic day today. Today was the first day that all four of the programs running at our middle school, our extended school year program, our enrichment and our remedial, as well as our annual 12-year program, 12-month program have been running. Went very smoothly. I want to compliment the staff for doing an outstanding job. The organizational level was at the highest. I was able to visit every classroom to be able to see the children very excited to be there. A couple people cried on the way through the door, but that should be, expected because some of them are actually like babies. But we had a wonderful first day. My compliments to the administration who were working diligently to have the program. I believe we're at our highest number ever. I think it was 282 today. It was nice to see everyone there. So I'm very excited to see all the ideas and activities that the students can be involved with over the next summer. And so we're off running. So I wanted to share that with you. Obviously, we also had high school graduation. It was actually amazing. Every year I get to graduate, and I've been doing this for some 35 years plus add on to that. The 18 years that I spent myself in school. So I've been blessed to be able to graduate many, many times. But it's always new every time. I tell people I get to stand in front of 1,000+ people, which is in itself nerve-wracking. But I'm lucky to be able to do it every single year. And I'm thankful that I have this position every day. And that concludes the superintendent's remarks this time.
Moving on to routine approvals.
Yep, before we do, I'd like to make a motion to move into executive session to discuss an appointment of a specific potential staff member or teacher.
So do I have a motion to approve Mr. Pascarella's desire to move into
Need a
executive
second?
session?
Yeah, second, you make the motion. So
Oh, so yeah,
Second.
second, sorry. Do I have someone to second that motion?
Second.
Michael Morrissey. All in favor?
Opposed? Okay, 5 in favor, 2 opposed, motion carried. You're going to adjourn into
We'll adjourn
executive
to
session.
executive session. Executive session will be held in library room A. Ready?
Ready?
Here we go.
Time is 7:57. I'd like to motion to reconvene the general meeting.
So moved.
Michael Morrissey, second, Joe Garcia, all in favor?
Okay, 7 in favor, motion carried.
Okay, so routine approvals, approval of the minutes of the June 11th, 2024 Board of Education meeting.
I'd like to make a motion to table the minutes until the superintendent can review them and bring them back for a future at a future meeting for board consideration.
Second?
Second.
Doug? All in favor?
Okay, 6 in favor. Opposed? Okay, 1 opposed, motion carried.
Number 2, warrant reports, 31 to 32, 135 to 136, 138 to 139, 141 to 142, 144 to 145. Motion to approve those.
So moved.
Second. Michael Morrissey, all in favor?
7 in favor, motion carried.
Okay. I move to approve treasurer's report for May 2024.
So moved.
Doug, second. Sonny, all in favor?
Okay, 7 in favor, motion carried.
All right, moving on to regular business. For items 1 through 7.
Nope, item number 1 first.
Oh, just, sorry, just item number 1,
That's
the
okay.
confirmation of the tax levy for Nassau County.
This is a roll call vote. Board of Education confirmation tax levy for Nassau County. Resolved that the following budget gross amount of the necessary claims and expenditures in Plainette Junior Free School District number 18, Town of Oyster Bay, school year 24-25 amounting to $104,081,405 for school purpose, $2,943,097 library purpose, $107,024,502 be the same, is hereby accepted. Resolved that the sum of $70,035,559 school purpose, $2,950,657 library purpose, total of $72,886, $72,886,206. Be the remainder of the budget adopted as above, and the amount to be raised by taxation by the Union Free School District number 18, Plain Edge of the Town of Oyster Bay, Nassau County, New York, for the 24-25. Be levied against the taxable property of the said school district, as said property has been certified by the assessor for the school year 24-25. Resolved that district clerk of this school district is hereby authorized and directed pursuant to section 6-220.0 and the amendments hereto of the Nassau County Administrative Code to file a certified copy of this resolution with the Nassau County Legislature and the Department of Assessment, Mineola, New York, on or before August 15, 2024. At this point in time, I'll ask for a roll call vote. Questions of adoption of the foregoing resolution are put forward to a roll call vote, which resulting as following, which I'll ask the district clerk to call the roll call at this moment.
Okay, Mr. Bayrooti,
Yes.
Mr. Garcia,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggio,
Yes.
Mr. Morrissey,
Yes.
Mr. Pascarella,
Yes.
Mr. Paris,
Yes.
and Mr. Spagnuolo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, do I have a motion to approve items 2 through 7 and 9 through 22?
In business item number 2, number 7, I just wanted to be known with my daughter, Julia Spinell.
Thank you.
So moved.
Second? Mr. Morrissey, all in favor? Pass.
Okay, 7 in favor, motion carried.
Thank you, everyone.
Do I have a motion to approve item number 8?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Can we have discussion on this?
Yeah, sure.
So, so to the responses that the responses Dr. Selena gave us, he said this has already been budgeted for. But in years past, there were years when the school board didn't go to the National School Board Convention. There's a lot of outlay. I'm not sure how much additional knowledge is gained through that, but I was curious that, you know, there is an additional outlay to go to the National School Board Convention. Maybe to stick to the New York State Convention, it's more relevant to our specific New York State needs, I think. But I'm just curious what the other 6 members of the board think.
Yes, please.
So Doug, I know you haven't gone to any of it. The New York State Convention has shrunk. The floor,
Mhm.
there's not a lot of vendors like there used to be. And the National Convention, there's lots of vendors. That's where we bought some of the school, the desks from 2 years ago. The planetarium that we have was all from the National
So you
Convention.
see better,
You see a lot more vendors and a lot
Okay.
more material than in the state. The state has really shrunk. And actually now it's in New York City. It's in the Sheridan. There's like no room for it. I don't know, when it was upstate, you had a little more.
so you
There's
think
something
more,
to think
more
about.
ideas stimulated from the
Absolutely.
National School Board Convention. Okay. That's all good stuff to bring back to planning. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other comments?
I guess.
So do I have a motion to approve?
Oh,
Oh,
it's already, yeah, we've had the vote.
All in favor.
oh, sorry, all in favor?
7 in favor, motion carried.
Okay, so next section is pride and planage. Anyone would like to speak about? Yeah, we did 22. Yep. The opportunity for board members to present on attendance or participation at school and or community events.
I was able to attend an elementary school graduation, moving up ceremony, and middle school moving up ceremony, and then the high school graduation. And they each have their own special shine to them. With, of course, the high school graduation being the biggest event of all, but the way the elementary schools still make it special for the kids with the pictures, it just, and middle school, they keep them moving. And I just thought, that was super sweet to see them be so excited. And the way the high school principal welcomes them on that day is really, I think, very special to them. So I enjoy, it was a very busy end of the year, but I think it was a very, parents just seemed thrilled and very happy, as they should be. So I was happy to attend all of those. And thank you to the PTAs and administrators and teachers who worked tirelessly to put everything together to make our kids look amazing. Thank you.
I got to go to the pre-K orientation, but it was the parent meeting, welcoming those parents that had a lot of questions. It's always funny to see the difference between parents who it's not their first go around and parents who it's their first kid entering, our pre-K program. So Rudy was there as well. We both have, children entering the program, so it was exciting stuff. Field day was a lot of fun to be a volunteer this year for the younger grades. I think the coolest part was seeing some of the high school seniors there helping out at the different stations. And it was a hot day, but it was really exciting. I know the little kids looked up to those high school kids like they were rock stars. So it was pretty fun. 5th grade concert. My son plays the violin. It is definitely not in his DNA. It's not genetics. And somehow those kids from the first concert to the last concert actually made some music. So kudos to whoever made that happen, the staff, because that was something else. And I got to watch the high school graduation. Frankly, the first time since my brother graduated, it was a live stream. And I was happy to have the live stream. It was moving, hearing the comments about the student Dilanuccio, seeing his sisters go up and receive his diploma. He lived on my block, and I was moved watching it a week after the fact. I can't imagine how emotional that day. So a lot of good stuff going on.
Sure, thank you. So I want to compliment playing softball on their annual firecracker tournament on Saturday. Several curveballs thrown at them, not the least of which was the weather. If you were at Schwarting, you could have floated a rowboat at home plate early in the morning, but through several people's efforts, able to get the field playable. It's a nice day. I spent my Saturday actually here at the high school, helping. We had some 14U games here, and I'm just always impressed at just the level of play of the girls, especially as they get to 14U there. The first girl that got up to bat cranked a home run to dead center. And also had the pleasure of attending my daughter's UPK moving up ceremony. Technical difficulty, the wrong song was put on first, but I can say that the pre-K students didn't even bat an eye and immediately transitioned into the song that was being played. And you would have never thought that that there had been a small glitch, but
All right, Doug Pasquarello, I just wanted to introduce myself to the public again. So I was on the board for 12 years and first meeting back after a while. And wanted to introduce myself to a whole new generation of parents out there, so there's a lot of people who might not know me and whatnot. So just want to say hi to everybody. And you can always email us, douglas.pasquarello@plainedgeschools.org. So I'm available. If you have any questions, concerns, so I'll put myself out there. All right, and hopefully next month I'll have some events I've attended. So thank you.
So I want to echo the sentiments of Ms. Maggio, Mr. Garcia, in terms of some of the events I also attended. With respect to the high school, you really get an appreciation. I haven't been to a high school graduation since my own, but the nuggets of knowledge and wisdom that was passed on by Dr. Selena, Mrs. Ioko, and other speakers, as well as the speeches given by the valedictorian, salutatorian, the class president. You really feel comfortable that this country is in good hand with these graduates. And that's heartening to me. And it's also nice to see all the accomplishments that our students were able to achieve with all the different awards that they're wearing at graduation, signaling you know, the hard work and dedication that they have put into their own education, but also because they've been inspired by teachers to go out and achieve their best. And so obviously that's high school graduation is the culmination or of all those years of hard work that have, for most of these students, been through, who have started here since kindergarten, ended up in graduation. And then post that, whatever success that they think they will find in life in terms of whatever path they choose. You know, you feel confident that they're well prepared and they're going to represent this community well. So that's something that I just wanted to express. And my joy in seeing that. Okay, that's so in terms of next items. Sorry. Oh, informational reports. Here we go. Any questions on the informational reports? No, okay. Moving on to new business.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, can I bring up mine? I have a couple of things I want to add for new business.
sure.
All right, first thing is, we're streaming today's meeting, right? We have a video stream going on now. So just to be clear, I guess, how do people access that? Are they, you know, are they registering? Are they?
Yes, they are.
So I'd like to discuss that. I don't think people should have to register to watch the stream. I think we should just have a link to it and they can just watch. No registration needed. So I'd like to have a discussion on that, have a vote on that. I think it should be just an open stream like any other stream you'd access online. So
The more access you could provide, I think it's better. The more the community could see it, whether it's in person or online. I think the registration can be a little annoying because sometimes you put it in your calendar and you say, oh, I'm gonna watch the board meeting, and then you forgot to register, and now you're gonna have to wait a couple days to look up on YouTube. So I don't know if it is possible to even do that. I imagine it is, like we stream the events. But I think that would make it a little easier for people.
yeah, less hoops to jump through, the better. So
Well, listen, we like the data to see who's registering, who's on. We verify, it. We have sometimes, Mickey Mouse, this and that. So I do recommend that, in order for us to have some accountability there, we allow people to register up to an hour before the meeting, a half hour before the meeting. So there's more than enough access. It's listed at the top of the webpage. It's also listed in the district calendar. It's on the board website. So it basically is available for anyone. So I don't think that we're minimizing access and prohibiting people. I also think to provide us with information as far as who's actually streaming and, who they are.
If I could, what do we do with the information of who
I don't
registered?
do anything with it. I look at it, I review it after every meeting to see who's logging on. And if there's any questions that people have, when they call, I know, I have knowledge that they watched the meeting and that they participated in it. That doesn't mean that people can't see it on YouTube. We usually get it up within 24 hours these days. Because these guys do an incredible job. So I don't think that we're limiting access by that.
yeah,
So
but
I would like to know who is actually in the community participating in our meetings.
I don't really think we need that information. I think it's.
Well, you may not,
Yeah, I don't
but
think
this
so.
administration does.
Well, I don't
That's my
think it's
opinion.
needed.
A related question is, I know at one time it went out through the app messaging service that there was a decision to stop sending it through the messaging service.
Sure.
Is there, if you could share the rationale of that, and how could we make it easier for people to get those links without having to go to the website?
Well, first of all, we did receive over the years, especially most recently, and probably since the COVID era. There were a number of taxpayers that did call or express that they were disappointed that we were targeting only those people with kids inside the school. And the reality is I can only target those people because, and remember, that's only that's only a third of the people in the community. So 2/3 of the community is not informed about these meetings, and it looks as if we're targeting those people. So to stay away from that conflict of interest, right, we moved away from it, and that's just recently. Because I don't want to get involved with promoting things that we don't need to promote, especially when those people are already inside of our system. It looked as if we were just targeting those people that would possibly vote yes for the budget. And that was one of the concerns.
Would it be possible, would it make sense, would it be prudent to have some sort of something similar to a constant contact people could sign up for, to have the meeting information emailed to them as part of the way we notify the community?
I can research it, yes.
I would love that. I think that would be a really good way. You know, when we think of seniors and when I met with a lot of seniors,
Mhm.
these are not my grandfather at 95 who, you know, if you don't mail it to him, he doesn't see it. These are people who know how to use an email.
We're moving actually, so if I could just add an additional comment to that. The Remind Corporation, which was one of the leading corporations, was bought by the Parent Square Corporation 1 year ago. The district is moving towards Parent Square, and on the website, they can actually sign up to receive all district distributions. I was just reminded by the district clerk. So that is available, so if people do want to sign up.
So, a community member with no children in the school could go to the website and receive Parent Square notifications.
Yes,
So then can we start putting the board registration link and meetings into Parent Square where it seems to have equal access for all the community?
yes, I can look into it, definitely. Yep, I'll do, and I'll have something to report back to you when we get together next time,
Thanks.
if that's good with the board.
Just some comment on it. With respect to the registration, is there a reason why we have to cut it off 30 minutes before? Not, why can't we just allow it?
It's a manual approval process.
Oh, okay,
That's why.
okay.
He's the
Understood.
process.
No problem.
I'm just, I'm putting it out there.
Understood.
That's the reason.
The other thing is, and I have not paid attention to the video billboards in front of the school, but also in a way of announcing it. I don't know how hard it is to, put picture up onto those video boards that we have at each school. Is it possible to add that as well as an announcement of an upcoming board meeting, let's say a week before, or if it's
For the
already
board
hap- might
meeting,
be
yes, but I don't
happening.
know if the link is, I don't know if it's a convoluted link. So let me look into that, please.
Yeah, no problem. Just like even a general announcement. just
It's
say,
not an issue. Like I said, for the LED boards, we want to use them as much as possible. They're
Right.
there to promote information about the school district. That would be for everybody, yes.
Thanks.
Okay.
What do you guys, what do you,
I'll
what do you
work
think
on
of
this.
the streaming of the meetings?
Anyone else?
Nothing?
So I'd like to bring up some items for consideration. So as many know, with the New York State School Board Association, generally there are resolutions that are put forward to be voted on. And this is basically the advocacy arm of the New York State School Board Association. There are a few items that I know surrounding Long Island school districts are in favor of. And so what I would like to do, if it's possible, is to read these and then open up each one for a conversation to see if we're willing to also put these resolutions forward from the planner's perspective. Do I have a motion? Do I need to make a motion for this or to read these?
You have to,
So
yeah, you can make a motion, but before the motion receives a second.
Right.
You have to explain what you're looking to do. I would probably read through all the resolutions and then
Right.
you can take them out from there.
okay, yeah.
And then if the board agrees to discuss the resolutions, then you have a second. And they can vote.
Perfect. All right, so with that explanation, do I have a motion to approve the reading of these various resolutions for discussion and approval to be sent into the New York State School Board Association ahead of the deadline for submission on July 12th, 2024 by 5 p.m.
So moved?
Second? All in favor?
Oh, we're gonna discuss.
So wait a minute, you guys
Let's
discuss it.
Discuss, yeah.
You gotta,
Oh, yeah,
no,
I thought
yes,
opening up to
yeah,
discuss it.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I wasn't clear.
All right, so,
So what I meant to say is that before they go for a second, for the motion itself, you have to tell them what you're asking them to take a second on.
okay,
So just, I would read through the resolutions. I know that there's a bunch here.
there's a few, yeah, there's
Yeah.
7.
So it's a total of 7,
Oh, sorry, 6.
6. So I would ask you to read them. Everybody has them in front of them as well, or you could just refer to them as items 1 through 7 if you'd like. And you can take them one at a time.
No, I'll read it so that people are aware of what we're talking about.
Okay.
So the first one is resolved that the New York State School Board Association advocate for a cap on BOCES budget increases. The rationale is school districts are limited to a 2% tax levy cap. School districts are under great pressure to meet all the demands on their budgets from mandated expenses, one of them being the BOCES administration fee. BOCES should be subject to a cap on their budget similar to member districts. So the reason why I think this one is an important one is the fact that Plainish schools are subject to a 2% cap is obviously part of state law. But it seems like BOCES from the administration fee standpoint are not subject to that. So they can propose a percentage increase on the administration fee of 8%. And it feels like there's kind of a transfer of wealth from my perspective of monies from Plainedge taxpayers to BOCES. And so since we are required by law to have to work within certain confines, I don't find it to be something extraordinary to require that BOCES work within those same limitations. I know that the counter argument is that we do get a rebate on some of these BOCES payments from the state in terms of revenue, if you look at the line items. So there is some offset, but it doesn't fully offset that increase. And so my view on this is we have Plainedge taxpayers, Plainedge money that's going to our school district. I want to try to keep as much of it as possible here. BOCES does provide a valuable resource, and this is, again, administrative in terms of running the BOCES programs, not the BOCES programs itself that our students would attend. That's my understanding. And so that's why I think this is an important item to advocate for on the go forward. So I don't know if anyone has any. Sure.
Am I clear in that when we're talking about these resolutions for NISBA, it's just litigation? It's just the political play up in Albany. Am I correct? Like,
Yeah, it's a lobbying.
right.
Yeah.
So many of these, as far as in my experience, and it's not a long time, but it's, have never even made it to the floor. One specifically, which drives me bananas, is the age at which we go to kindergarten. Right? Like now pre-K, we should have, our cutoff date should change with our country. And that has yet to see the light of day, even with our, pre-K, not just here, I mean, statewide, New York City. And so I just feel as if a lot of this, some of these things I wholeheartedly agree with too, but at what play are they going to make moves? Like, I feel like this is once again an Albany issue, pushing back on school districts to make it sound like we're not doing good things. And, so that's something that it's not that I disagree or don't, I just wanted to make sure I'm understanding. It's litigation up in Albany, right? Am I right? Is it?
I'll speak
Yeah.
after.
Can I?
Thank
speak
you.
with that, please?
Yeah,
So I've attended all the meetings the last 12 years. Here's what happens. We approve these resolutions tonight. They go to the Nassau Suffolk School Board Association meeting. They read everybody's resolution, and the whole Nassau County, Suffolk County School Board Association now vote on each resolution, whether we bring it to the state or not. Then when we get done with that, it goes to the state. Then at the state convention, it gets voted on again by a delegate from every school district to determine if it goes through or not. If they go through, they now go, the New York State School Board Association just hands it to a committee in the state. Been on the board for 11 years. One resolution made it to committee in 11 years. It's just the process. They don't, they don't, sometimes they listen to it, but it very rarely does anything, but that's the process of how it gets there.
Thank you.
But there's nothing wrong with putting resolutions in. Maybe we'll get lucky with one.
Yeah.
So I agree with everything you said. I don't disagree with that, but I feel like again, maybe it's optimistic, whatever, but I think all ideas start from planting a seed. And, if you don't at least make the effort to have the conversation, then you'll never have the conversation at all. And so even though the failure rate might be incredibly high, I don't think it's a waste of effort to put a little bit of ink to paper and try to advocate for what we think is right for Plainedge, and to join other similar districts that find themselves similarly situated as we are, to try to advocate for those things. There's lots of things that people put time and effort into, and sometimes it feels like wasted effort, but you're still able to extract sometimes gains from that. Sometimes it goes nowhere, but that's the point of advocacy, is you try, and if it doesn't work out, you maybe try a different angle, maybe you find compromise. So my inclination is to put it forward And then let's see where it goes. And I don't think it takes a lot of effort on our part to put these forward if we think that this is right for Plain Edge. And anyway, that's my philosophical point of view, but I don't disagree with anything either of you said. I agree with that.
If I could, I just think maybe procedurally, we could read all 6 of them and then vote in a block, or otherwise we could be here. till
We have to
tomorrow.
pull them out. We have to go one by one, right?
Yeah, you have to.
Okay,
Okay.
so I'd like to second, item number 1.
It's already on the table. It's already on the, right, everyone,
Yeah.
It's already on the floor.
So
we just
vote on this?
yeah, we
No,
just
no, yeah, let's make sure we get the order straight. Run through them. Supply what you just did, obviously, a succinct idea about why you think this should be done. Then the board can go back on each did, but one is there any need for discussion? If you agree, all right, and someone wants to second it, then there'll be a vote, and then we'll vote on each individual one needs to be voted on.
Okay, perfect.
All right, before I get sent.
Good.
All right,
So the second one is resolved that the New York State School Board Association shall, excuse me, shall advocate for an update of the foundation aid formula, and that the new formula be voted on by the New York State legislature process, and not through regulatory action of NICEAD. The rationale behind that is New York State is a vast state and each region has its own set of challenges and circumstances. Our elected officials should be the ones to determine the aid formula with input from their constituents. So, does someone want to explain that one?
I think the rationale explained it.
Okay.
It's good.
Anyone want to add to that or? No?
You want to read through all of them?
Yes, all right.
Yeah, let's come back.
Let's just go through and then I think it'd
Oh,
be
okay.
quick, best to read them all through,
Sure,
then we go back and we'll just do them one at a time.
got it, okay.
Any comments, discussion, et cetera.
Number 3, is resolved that the New York State School Board Association shall advocate for the repeal of the 2019 law that removed the religious/moral exemption to immunization. The rationale, all medical interventions have side effects, and the government should not force families to accept a risk that they do not believe is in the best interest of their child in order to receive an education. These decisions are best left to the parents in consultation with their family physician. Additionally, medical exemptions are not a reliable counter, as physicians are routinely discouraged from writing an exemption. Number 4, resolved that the New York State School Boards Association shall oppose any legislation or NICEAD regulation mandating comprehensive K-12 gender and sexuality education. Rationale, recent legislative actions have been moving toward mandating sexual and gender education. Taking curriculum decisions away from boards of education undermines their authority and disenfranchises the voters of the school districts. For the avoidance of doubt, any school district that wants to enact comprehensive K-12 gender and sexuality education would be free to do so. The opposition is to the mandate that districts adopt one. Number 5, resolved that the New York State School Boards Association shall oppose any legislation or NICEAD regulation that would allow biological males to participate in biological female athletics. Rationale, the Board of Regents has introduced amendments to mixed sports competition, eliminating the quote-unquote adverse effect clause, which allows school districts to deny biological males to try out for biological female-only sports teams if there were to be an adverse effect to biological female participation and/or opportunity. If the regulation takes effect in September 2024 as planned, we need to advocate to repeal this regulation. Finally, number 6, resolved that the New York State School Boards Association shall advocate for direct funding assistance to school districts for any student that enters the BOCES Career and Technical Education Program or any affiliated career training program resulting in a post-graduation license or certificate. The rationale, absent from the current foundation aid formula is any direct funding for students attending BOCES occupational and career training. If we agree that, quote, not every student is college bound, end quote, they too deserve the same state-funded support as those who choose to attend college for their post-graduation future. Relying primarily on localized school district funding to provide for such occupation training can limit student participation and post-graduation career opportunities. This represents a glaring disparity of support for students beyond their high school years. In contrast, the college-bound peers of BOCES students have access to various state and federal assistance programs for their career paths, which do not rely solely on direct local tax revenue. The future of those students choosing a career path before high school graduation should not be limited by the economic constraints of local school districts, nor should the taxpayer, who's already funding various higher education scholarship and tuition programs, be expected to do so again locally. That's all six.
Thank you. My recommendation is obviously to go through them one item at a time. Anyone wants to make any comments? Board can vote. All right, I think that'd be the fastest way through.
Sure. So I think we covered number one, already. In regards to number two, any conversation on that anyone wants to have?
Well, like, I think we saw with the two proposals that the governor made this past year, one of which actually was implemented, that the proposed changes to the foundation aid formula look to have significant impacts on school districts. I apologize.
No worries.
Look to have significant impacts on school districts throughout the states, disproportionately impacting school districts on Long Island and in the lower and upper Hudson Valley. I think that any advocacy that our advocacy arm could form on behalf of, these localized districts to make sure that local cost of living, that local, most of, to raise the local cost of living, the inflation rate, that these are considered, and that these local conditions are taken into consideration, because living on Long Island or the Hudson Valley is very different from living in the country. I think that foundation aid formula, which, at this point is due for a refresh, it comes from the Campaign for Fiscal Equity decision in early to the mid 2008, I think it was. That they should take these local considerations as part of their deliberation.
Anyone else have any commentaries to add? On item number three, Emmett, any commentary on that? Okay. Number four, would anyone like to speak on that? Okay, guess this stuff is pretty self-explanatory. Number five, anyone want to add to that? Okay, and number six, anyone want to add to that? Okay.
So actually, what you need to do is you need to call a vote on each one of these items here. So you have the numbers 1 through 6. So basically, you'll ask for a first, a second, all in favor? Okay.
Do I have a motion to approve items number 1 through 6 for the?
I'm sorry, item number
Oh,
one.
one at a time? Okay,
Yes,
sorry.
please.
Do I have a motion to approve item number 1 for the Unionsburg res?
So moves.
Second? Joe? All in favor? Opposed?
Just in favor, one opposed, motion carried.
Do I have a motion to approve item number 2?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
7 in favor, motion carried.
Do I have a motion to approve item number 3?
So moved.
Doug? Second? Garcia? All in favor? Opposed?
5 in favor, 2 opposed, motion carried.
Do I have a motion to approve item number 4?
So moved.
Doug? Second? Mike? All in favor?
7 in favor, motion carried.
Do I have a motion to approve item number 5?
So moved.
Mike, second? Joe? All in favor?
Okay, 7 in favor, motion carried.
Do I have a motion to approve item number 6?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
7 in favor, motion carried.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
At that time, I'll direct the board, district clerk to file on behalf, with NISBA, in accordance with, and state that the district clerk is filing on behalf of the board, according with, NISBA's resolutions and their requirements.
I have another new business item to bring up. Browsing other districts' websites and whatnot, I feel that other Board of Educations have more documentation out there for the public to consume, financials, the personnel action reports and whatnot, so I'd like us to have a conversation about putting more documentation online. I think it's inherent to us to be more transparent than what we currently are. We want to be the best, so we want to have the best Board of Education website and offer the most information to the public. But people don't have, people don't have time to come down and officially foil all these reports and whatnot, so I think if Levittown is doing it, Massapequa was doing it, Farmingdale does it, our surrounding districts, I think we should also be doing the same, Why should our residents not have the same access as our neighbors? So,
Yeah, I think the administration has to be part of that, but I think it'd be really good to put a lot more of that stuff there. It's something you hear about a lot. And often the counter to it is, well, it doesn't really matter and it could be foiled. I've had that, conversation, but a lot of this stuff is publicly available either anyway, so why not just have it already there so we don't have to answer the question anymore?
So what are you looking to put on the website? Specifically, what items?
specifically, the warrants, treasurer's reports, any type of, the warrant, treasurer's reports. Maybe the responses we get to as part of the meeting minutes should be, maybe that's up in the air, maybe you do that too.
I'm sorry, what was the last one?
The questions that we asked leading up to the board meeting, there's questions, so it should be, that's a public document too, so. But,
Yeah, I don't, like I said before, that some of the information is confidential, so I'm not gonna be able to,
okay,
I can't
I
advocate.
think it's
for
gotta
that.
be,
I think it's, when you're talking about factual documentation, first of all, I would not rush into doing that. I would want to have some time to study what other people and what people are doing. Anybody wants to send me information, to blanketly just say, put all our information out there. There are risks, obviously, especially
Well,
in the
that's it,
data
yeah.
breach world that we live in at this point in time. So I'd need to actually know and have more information about it.
would it be, I'm getting my sea legs here tonight, so
Sure.
if I'm out of turn, let me know, but would it be possible to come back at the next meeting with a list of what you feel we could comfortably do without running into legal risk and then,
If the board would like me to take a look at that, I'm happy to take a look at that. Like I said before, as far as what the legal requirements are, we're fully compliant with the law, but that's a different conversation.
Mhm.
Meaning that, I've never been a fan of distributing people's names and such like that and posting them out on the web. I think there's enough, theft of, identity at this point in time where I don't need to be contributing first and last names of anyone and posting them out there. And that would be a par report. But yes, they can foil it if they want, but
Yeah.
the truth of the matter is that I just don't want to contribute to that.
but
That's-
other districts.
I don't care what
other
other districts do. I'm talking about what I think is best.
Yeah, but,
That's what the superintendent gets
Maybe we can
asked
ask
for his
that grant.
opinion. And that's why the superintendent's giving his opinion this
Yeah.
evening.
okay,
um,
but maybe we can get a graph, how about this, a graph with, these different reports and who has it, Farmingdale has it.
Oh, you want to do a
Massapequa
study?
has it, Island Trees has it, Bethpage has it, Wanto has. And just to see who, maybe we're the only one, maybe we're the outlier here,
if I could suggest.
Yeah.
Allow administration to come back with what they like or what they're comfortable with, and then we could go from there if we feel as a board we need to add more to it. I don't know if that would
Okay.
make you.
Okay, that's fair, yeah.
Dr. Slater, would that?
A
be something-
recommended and then an additional,
And then we could look at it and discuss.
Yes.
it's a step in the right direction, it's good, yeah, so. We can see what they said, have it, all right. That would be good. We have to vote on this, we have to,
I think
Think so,
There
right?
needs to be consensus of the board directing the superintendent.
Not a motion.
Not,
Okay.
not a motion.
Just a
Consensus?
So, should
Is there anything else to
frame it?
say, or-
or-
Say, you can frame it, just say,
Okay, so
I
I
need to
guess,
know, people, are the board, is the board in favor of the superintendent doing this research?
so,
Yes.
yeah, that's basically what I was gonna say.
Yeah, sorry.
So
Don't wanna
is,
make it too
is the
hard.
Board of Ed, in favor of Dr. Selena looking into providing additional information for our board agenda by providing attachments for items that we believe are comfortable, to provide to the public?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
consensus. I think
Okay,
maybe,
you have
maybe we could raise our hands.
Yeah, four, so you have a consensus.
We have consensus at
consensus?
this time, Becky.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thanks, thank you. It's gonna be, really good next month.
Was that, is there anything else for new business or?
No, I'm done. Thank you very much.
Right. Okay, moving on to the next item is the opportunity for public comment. All comments are directed to the Board of Education President. Each speaker, we kindly ask, keep it limited to 2 minutes in total. Each speaker is expected to use the microphone and clearly state their name.
I'd also like to, if I could, before we have the first speaker or anyone's interested in speaking, I'd like to welcome Mr. Greg Wasserman, who's our new Director of Guidance, who's joining us here tonight with his wife Allison. Congratulations on the new position. And thank you, and I look forward to joining our staff and working here and collaborating with our administration and our K through 12 environment. And I want to thank you for being here tonight with your wife. It's a pleasure to see you, Mr. Wasserman.
Good evening, everyone. Perry Fuchs, President, Planning and Direction of Teachers. Nice to see everyone. The summer. It's good. It's good to be here. A lot of things really quick. First, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Garcia, Mr. Morrissey, and Mr. Pasquarella on your seats on the Board of Ed tonight. Very, very happy to work with you and push our district forward. I'd also like to congratulate Mr. Morrissey on his appointment to our election to Vice President of the Board. And Mr. Beirudi on your election to President of the Board of Education. I also just was reelected to my position as President of the PFT for the next 2 years. And I look, thank you. And I actually unanimously, I'm very excited about that. So I look forward to working with this board to continue what we've done for many, many, many years, which is always do what's in the best interest of kids and push all of our excellent education programs forward. And I know that we will. I also want to encourage the board, because we do have a lot of new members here, that you have an amazing central office team who has combined probably 200 years of experience in both administration and public education. So I would encourage you to rely on them for their advice and their guidance. Ultimately, obviously, the decision is yours. But they're in their positions for a reason, because they're the best of the best. And they're led by literally the best. So Dr. Selena, who has nearly 40 years in education. So please listen to what they have to say. I'm sure they will guide you in the correct direction. And we will continue to do always what's in the best interest of kids. Like I said, very excited for a new year next year. I want, on behalf of the over 350 teachers and teaching assistants that I represent, I want to wish you all an excellent summer. And I look forward to seeing everyone in August. Thank you very much.
So I guess if there's no further public comments, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Hello?
Mr. Pasquarella, second. Mr. Scarnello, all in favor?
7 in favor, motion carried.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you.
Night.
Leave home, everyone.